Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Discipled. I hope you guys are having a blessed day so far. Today we have a new video, and today's video is just a big conglomeration of some beginner tips that I'm going to share with you guys that has helped me along the way in my Arc Raiders journey. I have a little over 300 hours, and I don't know everything about the game, but this is more so just in case somebody's a new player, or maybe you're like 100 hours in and you don't know some of this stuff. This is just some basic stuff that will help you out along the way, that will massively improve your gameplay and just make you a lot smoother in a lot of situations. So without further ado, let's get straight on into it. We're gonna get straight to the point, straight to the tutorial. Keep it nice and quick, concise, and let's do this thing. So one thing to note about Arc Raiders, I'm gonna say that this game is quote-unquote action-based. And now I say that very loosely. Let me explain. If you do an action, typically you have to finish that action before you can do another one. AKA, if I pull out my gun, I have to wait till my character pulls out his gun in order to pull out another gun. So, or put it away. So if I press 1 here and I try to press X, you see that he has to pull it out more in order for him to actually put it away. But if you actually do press it quick enough like that, it does cancel. It's a very, very short window, but it is something that does help you just in case you're kind of running around and you have to, like, you know, go over there and you press 1 and you don't want to have to wait for your gun to pull out. You have to be very quick. So I would recommend practicing that little window. Let's get another gun and I'll show you it. It's definitely a lot different with the heavier guns, aka like the kettle or something. So if I pull out the kettle takes a long time to pull out. So if I press X right away, you see that his hand kind of does a little glitch. But if I wait to press X, you have to like wait till he pulls it out. So that could be a difference right there. In this game, that short little window that you are spending pulling out your weapon halfway and putting it back could be life or death in this game. So this game is very action-based, meaning if you slide, you have to wait till you finish sliding. If you dodge, if you pull out your weapon, you have to wait till you pull out your weapon. If you dodge, you have to wait till you dodge to do another action, so on and so forth. So it's very like action-based. I say that loosely, but you guys get what I mean. Now, with that, there is a little mechanic that I have learned where if you are running without your weapon out, and let's say you're getting shot at and you pull out your weapon, instead of like just sitting here like a duck waiting for you to pull out your weapon and you're like getting shot at, what I recommend is if someone's standing there and you get shot at, press number 1 or 2 first, like whatever weapon you want to pull out, and then dodge. So you'll see what I mean. You press it and then dodge, and then by the time you're back up, your gun will be out. So this will save you a lot. There's a little bit of a timing to it. Once again, if you dodge and then press 2, after the dodge, you have to wait till your gun pulls out. So pull out your gun first. Put your weapon away, pull out your gun first, and then dodge, and then by the end of your dodge, you're ready to roll, and you're ready to get back into action. And this goes, again, for switching any weapon, whether you want to go to your melee as well. It works with anything that you want to pull out in the given moment. Always press the 1, 2, or melee button first, and then dodge, and then by the end of that dodge, you will be ready to roll in combat. So now we're going to move into a little bit of a movement mechanic. I might be kind of all over the place. I don't have a specific order in these tips, so just kind of bear with me. I might be kind of bouncing back in between things, but I did just want to kind of get this out there. So with sliding, instead of like waiting till your slide is done, let's say again somebody's like chasing you or you're trying to get, you can slide and then dodge, and you can also redirect this in any direction. So if I slide here and then press to the right, or to the left, I mean, or to the right, it will dodge in that direction. Or you can dodge backwards as well. So always keep in mind that you have these little movement mechanics. Now, obviously, you have to keep in mind your stamina as well. That's one of the biggest things as well with all of this, is any movement mechanics. I would recommend always keep an eye out on your stamina, and always bring maybe an adrenaline shot or 2, maybe a stack or 2, and always keep hitting those adrenaline shots, because stamina in this game is life or death. And if you run out of stamina, and let me show you how slow it is. But if you're dodging and rolling and you run out of stamina and you're trying to run, you're pretty much a sitting duck by the time you are trying to do anything. So always keep in mind on your stamina. But like I said, if you want to redirect your slide, you can do that as well by hitting that directional button and just dodging in that direction. Now in this game, when you're shooting, most of the time you are more accurate while you're standing still. So if you look at this, the anvil, especially if I'm walking, you see that my circle is a lot bigger. So if you're sitting still, it's much more accurate. Now, of course, not all situations you can just sit here and stand still. But try to kind of mix it up a little bit. Like if you're in a combat, try to go like right here and then stand still, boom, move around, stand still, boom. So there's kind of, once again, a little bit of that window timing that you want to get down, where like you just want to sit still for just that brief second while you're shooting, so that you can get that max accuracy. Because sometimes if you're just like kind of running all willy-nilly like that, like you're not going to hit your target. But if you sit still just for one moment, like boom, oh, I missed there, but if you sit still and then like boom, and then you run and then slide and then boom. So there's a little bit of a timing that you have to get down. It's much quicker if you actually get it down. This is just kind of a basic example, but more often than not, you want to try and stand still. Let me get a rattler and a stitcher. So with the stitcher, you can see that circle is very, very wide. So depending on your distance with the stitcher, you don't want to sit here and just spray it. If you're shooting at a distance with any automatic gun, you typically, especially with the rattler, now nobody really uses the rattler. We're not going to talk about the rattler. The rattler needs a little work, okay? But just in case you are using the rattler, I don't recommend it. Just in case you are, this gun is not intended to be just sprayed. Now at this distance, we can hit that target. Let me get some more ammo. If I'm sitting here just spraying and praying, a lot of those bullets are not gonna hit. Let's just let's shoot at the dummy here. If we're like super far away, you can see a lot of those bullets are kind of straying away. So with the rattler and some of the automatic weapons, depending on your distance, you want to make sure that you are watching that reticle, that outer circle on your reticle. Now some people have this off, which I don't blame you for having it off. It is a bit of an eyesore sometimes, but it does help you kind of get the timing of it and get down like the timing of when that dispersion kind of goes back down. So some people might know that already, but again, this is just a basic tips thing. And let's move on to the next one. So we're actually going to get into a little bit of the parkour in this game. There are a lot of things that you can do when it comes to the ledges and the movement mechanics. Obviously, if I just jump straight off of this platform right here, you fall flat and you're basically a sitting duck the entire time. So a hypothetical situation, instead of falling flat on my face, I can assess my surroundings. I would recommend always pay attention to your surroundings. Like what ledges and what ladders and what zip lines are near you. Because there's a lot of mechanics that you can use based on movement that you can escape very quickly instead of just jumping straight off a ledge. Now, obviously, most people probably realize that you shouldn't jump straight off of a ledge. But say, for instance, someone opened that door and started blasting at me, and I'm running forward. And I know that there's a ladder right there. So he starts shooting at me. Oh, I fell off there. Wait, hold on. Oh, gosh. So he starts shooting at me, and then I decide to boom, jump, press E, and then I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'm gone. Another example. In this game, you can mantle on a lot of ledges, and that means you can jump off and still mantle. So a little thing that I like to do, it's kind of hard. This is more of maybe an advanced trick. So if you look at this ledge right here, we're going to try this one because it's a little harder. But if you jump and do a little 180, hold on, this one's hard. I even struggle with this one. I'm going to try to just kind of get it exact here. If you jump and do a 180 and then press space and your jump, you can mantle on that ledge and negate all the fall damage. And this is on any ledge. I'm pretty sure it's any height. It might not be like super high, but there's a lot of heights that you can jump from where you can just mantle on a ledge and negate the fall damage. So this is an easier example right here. Boom. We mantled right there and we just jump backwards. But there are little tips and there's little spots on the map where you can do these like kind of 180 turnaround things. Like you're running away, boom, you jump off, and then boom, you hit that ledge. That was kind of weird right there, but you guys kind of get the picture. You jump off of that ledge and then you land kind of right there and then jump off again, and then boom, you're ready to roll. Now, of course, talking about the roll, most people probably already know this, but just in case you were unaware, when you jump off of a ledge that's fairly high and that kind of stumbles you and you have to, you know, obviously you're going to take damage maybe a little bit, or you're going to get kind of stumbled. There is a short window, and there is a skill in the skill tree that widens this window. But if you jump off and press your crouch button, like this is my crouch button right here. If you jump off and press your crouch button at the right time, You have to time it right as you hit the ground. You do a little roll that will keep your momentum and you won't have to like stumble and be staggered there for a second. Another thing with the movement that I love to do is with zip lines. I recommend that if you're like, let's say you're on this type of zip line, or let's say this is like a steeper, a building right here, and you're on the edge of a building and this is a steeper zip line. Instead of standing here and pressing E, you see that's a very short, there's a very small window where you're kind of just like a sitting duck. I recommend instead of sitting there pressing E, run at the zip line, jump, and then press E, and then you keep all of that momentum and you are good to go to get away much quicker rather than sitting here trying to attach to the zip line. And it also works going up too. So like if you do this, you run at it and jump a little bit and press E at the right time, you get that momentum. So I recommend, and this again, at any height, there's a bit of a timing that you have to press that E, but at any height, you can run and jump onto a zip line, and it will be much quicker. And this goes for vertical zip lines too. Instead of standing at the top of the zip line and pressing E, jump off a little bit and then press E, maybe like midway down the zip line. Is there a zip line here actually that's vertical? There might be a vertical zip line, but it works the same way. Ladders, zip lines, ledges, you can jump off and do these little mechanics to get away quicker. Now, with this game, I'm not going to put in all of the audio cues, but there are quite a lot of audio cues in this game that you need to pay attention to that can really change the outcome of any situation. One of them is cameras, which is in here. A lot of people probably already know this, but just in case you don't, if you stand in front of one of these cameras, it makes a loud noise. So in game, if you hear this specific noise, you can rest assured that an enemy is pretty much near you in front of one of these cameras, and you need to pay attention to that audio cue. Now, there's also audio cues with Arc. Bring this turret back here. We can listen. And that little bird. There's audio cues for Arc, so if I didn't know there was a turret in there, I can listen on the other side of the wall and realize, okay, there's a turret in there. I need to be careful walking in there, just running blindly through there. So that goes for all the Arc. There's a lot of audio cues with probes, with caches, all the Arc, other players. You can hear people put stuff in their safe pocket as well. So I don't know if yeah, so like, for instance, this zip sound that you hear, that zip sound right there, you can hear other players put that in their safe pocket. So if you're in raid and you hear a zip, there's somebody near you. Or you can hear somebody reloading. You can hear actually somebody aiming their gun like this. That little noise you can hear your enemies do as well. So I very, very much recommend that you listen to your surroundings and listen to everything. Some people have night mode on in the settings, and if you don't know what night mode is, basically you go to your audio and you turn on this. It pretty much like amplifies noise. For me, it's way too loud. I have in-ear monitors, so I already hear stuff pretty well as it is. So I don't really recommend that for in-ear monitors, but it might work for you. So you might want to try that out in case you have a hard time hearing stuff. But yeah, always listen with your ears. All right, so my next tips that I have written down are pretty much some of my last tips. I'm primarily a friendly player in this game, but when people shoot at me, I shoot back. And I understand that some people don't like to PvP. I'm not going to be one of those guys that are like, oh, this is not a PvE game. Oh, this is not a PvP game. It's both. And the more and more that you accept the fact that there is PvP in this game and not everybody's going to be friendly, the more that you're going to have peace in knowing that you're just going to get in a firefight. So my biggest tip with all of these tips combined, when you are under fire, instead of wasting all of your energy trying to beg someone to be friendly, keep calm, pull out your gun, use these mechanics, and fire back, and get the PvP kill. There is no harm in defending yourself and getting that PvP kill. I get it. I love to be friendly and I love to take out matriarchs. If anybody is here that's watched my live streams, you always see me running around in solos being friendly, helping other raiders, and fighting matriarchs with big groups of raiders as well. It's super fun, don't get me wrong. But I also understand that not everybody is going to cater to that play style, and there are going to be the people that play the villain. There are going to be the people that act friendly and shoot you in the back. So I recommend, instead of wasting all that time and energy being like, oh, don't shoot me, pull out your weapon, dodge, boom, 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 stay calm under pressure, use these mechanics that you have just learned today, and get you some dubs. Defend yourself out there. Be a raider. Be an ARC raider. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I may be missing some tips. Like I said, this is just kind of a beginner tip. Maybe I can make another tutorial in the future about like maybe more complex tips. I don't really have any in mind at the moment. Like I said, I don't consider myself like a super big professional. I did make it to Daredevil in the first season, but I dropped back down to Wildcard, so I'm kind of high in the ranks. But until I hit Hotshot or Cantina, maybe then I will release my tips and tricks that are more advanced or more professional. But nonetheless, I hope that these tips help you. If I missed anything that you think is a good beginner tip, definitely feel free to comment in the comments. Like I said, this is not all the tips in the world. This is just to get you started. This is just to get the new players in, get you a feel for the game, get used to the kind of clunkiness, action-based mechanics where you have to be very meticulous in all your actions. Keep calm and continue arc rating, man. So I hope you guys have a blessed day. I will catch you guys in stream. I hope this helps you. And God bless, man. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.